and welcome back to this week's episode of the Broken Kid Podcast. First of all, go ahead and write in the comment section, how many of you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Because and this is not so we can get more engagement in terms of like more money or anything, but just a genuine question because I think more people are going to say no. I might be wrong. But the reason I bring that up is because I've been trying for so long to get a decent girlfriend. And I've gone on a few dates and oh my, out there it's like a horrible ground for like tragedy. You know, I was talking to one of my friends about how I went on a terrible date the other day, last night or 2 days ago. And she was gonna come over to my house and we were gonna watch a horror movie and she decided to bring weed, which I thought was not a good idea. But I let her bring her weed anyways, and it was just horrible because everything was going wrong. Like, this is what was happening. You know, we met. She wants to come over, and I said, yeah. We met on the dating app, and she looked kind of decent. She didn't look ugly, but you know, as we were talking, she wanted to like hang out right away. I was pressured into this, but it was my fault too. And soon after we like matched online, after a few moments and some talking back and forth in a few days, she wanted. I had the house all alone, no roommate, no nothing. So she asked if she could come over, and I said, at first I said like no. I playfully declined. Then that 14-year-old boy in me couldn't be contained. So of course I said, you know what? Maybe you should. We could watch a movie. And I thought it was gonna be like, you know, this is my first time hanging out with her, and it was just gonna be like a 2-hour hangout session. But it was weird because you don't know how much chemistry you have with somebody in person until you hang out with them for some time. And upon meeting, oh my god, it was like two gay guys dry humping each other at gunpoint. That's how forced the chemistry felt. There was no chemistry. And upon coming to when she told me she was gonna head over, she said, I don't have any makeup, but trust me, I look cute most of the time. And if you have to tell somebody that you're good looking, you probably aren't good looking. And that is just a sweeping generalization. It's a blanket statement. But I was scared, and then I go down and I grab her from her car to walk her up. And oh god, oh, she was so scary looking. Ugh. She was so scary looking. And then she starts smoking her weed from a bong. So of course I take a few hits, and the rips that I took, the first rip was like decent, but the weed was horrible, and I think it was like laced with like oxycodone, because the next day I woke up I was like, oh, it felt like I had spent a night like at the Jeffrey Epstein Island, you know, with like if Kevin Spacey was there and ordered a young boy with piercings and tattoos, you know, who was essentially emo. But I woke up and I was like, oh Lord, I almost had to like sit back down. Because that weed was Reggie weed. If you don't know what Reggie weed, look it up. It's pretty much weed that's bad. It's named after some football player. But it was not good weed. Because you know when the weed is good, you don't wake up the next day feeling like you had drinks with like Rufalin. But yeah, so the whole thing is like just coming back to me, and I'm reliving a traumatic experience, but no chemistry. We put the movie on, and of course the weed was like really doing it was doing its thing on me, and I was starting to fall asleep. And about halfway through the movie, she decides to like get up and leave because it was so awkward, and it was like the exact opposite of fireworks. It was like it was drier than a yeast infection, and I'm just gonna leave